to Bourbon Taste-Offs, playoff brackets of the best whiskeys. Join us in our season-long quest to find our tastiest bourbon. And here is the bracketology of our last 6 months of Taste-Offs. We are halfway done with the 4-quarter year. We are anxious to find what our next 2 quarterly winners are. We're narrowing it down from 192 bottles to just one. Follow along to find out what our tastiest bourbon is. Cheers. Hello, thank you for joining us on Bourbon Taste-Offs. This is episode number 40. And in this episode, we're going to be tasting some wheated whiskeys. And some of it is going to be wheated, like a bourbon wheated. And some, I think there's at least one that's a full straight wheat whiskey. So
Fun.
it will be fun. I know I like some wheats. I'm Todd.
I am Chris.
And I'm still Adam.
And he's still Adam.
I know, I'm still here. Keep coming
Not
back.
still Austin?
Nope, not still Austin. Although they did just release a wheated.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a nice segue.
Is it in here?
Possibly.
Ooh.
Let's find out.
Here we go.
So we're gonna mix these up. Actually, let's show the viewers actually what the rundown of these bottles is, and here it is. The bottle lineup for this episode is in glass 1, a Woodford Reserve Kentucky Straight Wheat Whiskey at 90.4 proof. In glass 2 is a Bernheim Original Kentucky Straight Wheat Whiskey, aged 7 years at 90 proof. In glass 3 is an Oregon Spirit Single Barrel Bottled in Bond Wheat Whiskey, aged 5 years and is 100 proof. And in glass 4 is a castle&keywheated Straight Bourbon at a cask strength of 105.8 proof. All right, so we're back, and we're going to pick what's going to go against number 1.
Todd.
And I'll pick, and we kind of hinted that we're going to get something like a rolled dice type of thing to kind of pick.
Little easier to randomize.
Right. And this one's going to be 3.
1 versus 3.
So here's to another episode. Cheers, fellas.
Bumps.
Cheers.
And tell us the story, Adam, if you would. What's the story of Bumps? Why we say cheers?
My grandpa, he's 94 right now. He was just over for our house for Thanksgiving and everything, but he always does bumps. That's his cheers thing. So I just do it on the episode for him. You know?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Is there a story behind the bumps, or is it just something he's always done?
Something he's just always done.
Okay.
And it's it's kind of a thing that we do now as like me and my dad and my uncles and
Yeah.
everybody else. It's like instead of saying cheers or nostrovia or kampai or
Yeah.
that stuff, it's bumps.
It's to show tribute and honor to someone you respect and love, and that's awesome. A lot of guys that I used to go Nice Ash. I used to. I mean, I still go there, but not as often as I used to. But they always say harumph.
Oh,
So it's a harumph thing.
Yes,
yeah.
nice.
So it's kind of cool. Everybody has their own kind of way of saying.
Yeah, my one buddy, he does dilly dilly.
Oh,
That's his thing.
okay.
Cool. Yeah.
Now these are wheated. I'm getting a good nose on this.
Yeah.
And typically,
Wheats sometimes the nose are a little lean.
they hide.
Yeah.
In my opinion. But this one's standing out. Have we done a color comparison at all by
Yeah,
chance?
They're pretty close.
Yeah, these two are for sure.
If anything, I would say 3's a little lighter.
Yeah, I would too. Yeah.
I cheated a little bit and I smelled 3 as well. And
There's no cheating.
Yeah. But
how you do
it's-
it.
Yeah, but it's gonna be interesting if the flavors match the smells.
I don't know if it's just because I just had a cracker or what, with that salt going with the
Yeah, there's.
sweet, but it's very savory.
I don't know why I can't think of what it is that I'm smelling in this.
Have you tasted it yet?
I did.
Okay.
It's good. There's a lot to it. I would definitely say proof plus.
I would say proof equal to maybe a little proof plus, like not much more than like 105.
I would say neutral myself. Because although you're right, I mean, in my experience with wheated, you'll think it's a lot less.
Right.
And it's like actually more because the wheat kind of hides that. Like we had those the Larceny barrel proofs, and those are like 125 proof, but they're wheated and they're 6 to 8 year old, but they're 125 proof, and it does not taste like 125 proof.
Yeah.
So you can easily get fooled with wheateds having a high proof and it not actually being.
It doesn't have much of an aftertaste. Like it kind of hits your palate and then kind of fades out really quick.
Yeah.
It doesn't evolve. It's not very complex.
Yeah, as I'm trying to go and think of what I'm getting for aftertaste, I'm actually realize, I'm like, oh, what is that? I'm like, oh, wait, no.
gone.
I'm literally getting more of just the cheese. I'm actually, when I go and try to breathe in again and try and sense that, I get more of the cheese. It didn't leave anything else there that could hide
So
the cheese.
it accents what you're tasting,
Yes.
basically. Yeah, I kind of got that too. That's why I was like, I just had a cracker, and that's why it's accenting the salt from the cracker. It's good. I like it.
On number 3, I'm getting a lot of honey on the nose.
Oh, I see that. Smell that.
Yeah, I do too.
It's more, I think, too, like it's got a little more grain character.
Almost like a 4-grain.
Similar, yeah.
Yeah. Or at least just more.
Or maybe it's just
Watch.
more,
This is the only straight wheat.
Maybe it just has more of the wheat.
Yeah,
And it depends what kind of wheat as well.
that is true. Yep.
Mint?
Interesting.
I definitely got a mint.
I agree with that.
Like a spearmint
Yeah.
kind of thing? Yeah.
I mean, I have mint that grows in the front yard in one area that was stupidly planted wild, so I mow over it and literally can taste it.
yeah.
Yeah.
You taste grass?
Yeah.
We had that conversation in the past.
You can smell the rain? Yes. Yes, you can. You can smell the rain.
You can. Smells like worms.
Yeah.
I know. It's pleasant.
I'm trying to figure out the proof point on this one. It's a little bit more tricky.
Yeah.
One seemed a lot stronger to me.
It does,
Maybe
but
not a lot, but
the amount of flavor it's holding.
Yeah,
and
the
then
mint.
little burn
The
on
mint
my tongue.
numbs.
yeah, that once that hit, I'm like,
Yeah.
I didn't even think of anything else. I'm
Yeah.
like, is that?
So that mint, that numbing feeling could either be the proof or the mint.
No.
Just I found my new mouthwash.
It's like,
You're gonna be pulled over a lot,
like Ron Burgundy. How's it going?
right?
I would have to say it's probably proof plus. Would be my guess.
I would think so. Just with that numbing feeling
Yeah.
with the mint, though, it's like
It's nice.
it is.
I'm gonna say proof neutral for
Okay.
me, just to be contrarian, and actually because the other one definitely seemed like it had a lot more.
Yeah, I just
I'm not even getting a lot.
I get a lot more throat hit on 3 than I do on 1.
It's gonna be hard to actually go back and actually
True.
taste it
I guess true, and that
Yeah,
without having it carry over to it,
correct.
because that does happen.
And I guess if I do almost smell a bit more of an alcohol off of this. So you guys could very well be right. There's a chance that you guys with a lot more experience of drinking this could be slightly more
I'm
right
wrong
than me.
constantly. Ask my wife.
Hey, we just had an episode
I was gonna
where
say, the previous
we were
episode was
saying
proof.
it's malted, but it was actually rye, and we thought the rye was rye and it was malted, and so
Yep.
we're just going off of blind tastings, and
Yeah,
we're trying to take our experience that we've had and try to use this tasting as
And unlike the viewers, I have no idea what these are.
right, exactly. Yeah, they're sitting there going,
Oh my God.
"You know what this is? Come on, you know what it is."
Turns out we are not experts.
No.
Yeah.
And
we are
it's a
not
big
cheaters.
thing, though. When you actually read the label and you're drinking it,
Yep.
you have all this knowledge.
Expectations are there. Yep.
knowledge.
Keys, yeah.
Yeah.
Or even
Yep.
if you know what brand it is, you know
Yeah.
what distillery it's coming
Yep.
from, they always kind of have their
Yep.
stereotypical notes from
Yep.
each one.
This really does just narrow down to our preference of which one we think is
Right.
better tasting.
Well,
know?
that's why I don't know if we could do the 192 bottle bracket to finish the year. I don't know if that would work out too good.
In our previous episode, Chris came through and saying, "Oh, let's just have an 86 bottle episode." Yeah.
I know which one I want to pick already.
I don't know how I feel of that instant minty taste. I'm going 1 just on that. I like everything else in the mouth, everything after 3, but that up front, I don't notice as much on the later taste, but that first one, that hit me so much. I'm like, I don't know how that would open up if there was a little bit of ice in there or something, and it would change it, but
I'm curious about it because, I mean, typically with a wheat, I'm not getting a lot of like minty stuff. So I'm very curious about why it becomes like a wheated
Get a little more.
Or minty.
The minty goes away, but that honey, like grain smell really pops.
Yeah, it's at this point, it's literally just that initial preference on me.
I'm gonna go contrary. Take 3.
Yep.
I think 3 is way more interesting in my opinion. I think there's a lot more going on, and that mint's not an off-put for me because there's a bunch of other stuff that I do like that has that mint flavor on it.
Yeah, you came in here bringing in some RD1, like
RD1, Amburana finish.
Amburana.
Yeah.
At 120 some proof.
Yeah.
That's very flavorful. That's very good.
It's a flavor.
And this kind of reminds me a little bit about that because it gives you a little bit of extra flavoring with that extra flavors. I mean, I don't know.
No, I could. Yeah, I'm assuming you're going with 3 then as well.
I'm still kind of going back and forth. Like I'm trying to decide right now because do I like mint in a bourbon? Not really.
Honey mint.
Do I like honey mint in a bourbon? Not really. However, like one, it just kind of falls flat. Like it just is not as like poof as I think it should be.
So,
and I don't know what poof should be, but it's just there for me.
I
think a
agree.
lot of
With the
times-
lack of there's no real anything afterwards. The fact that I could
Yeah.
taste
a
more
lot of
cheese
times I
in the
think
air.
on the Four Roses OBSK single barrel stuff that's at barrel proof, I get that mint,
Yeah.
which I enjoy.
Yeah.
There, so why wouldn't I enjoy it in this?
No, that's true. I mean, it could be a yeast thing, just that alone could be bringing in that minty flavor. I am going to go 3 though, just because of what I just said, it's not pow.
And I'm fine with that because I think I'd almost rather see how that one competes with others.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
It's
surprising though. You're right though. It's mint. So here's the 3. Now it's time to go over to 2 and 4. Chris, what was your favorite drink besides beer and besides bourbon?
Was or is?
I suppose this could be is. What is your favorite besides those?
Are you speaking like just the spirit or like cocktail?
It could be a cocktail. It could be like, what do you kind of go to if it's not a beer or a bourbon option, I guess I should say.
Well, so my default go-to if I go out, which, we don't have kids, so we do.
What's that like?
But yeah, if we're going out for bits, like at times, all right, if I'm not having a beer in some of the places we go, I'm not really going doing straight whiskey. If I'm going to Nice Ash or something, then I'm going to go and I'll probably have something like that. But like even where we're going tonight, I will probably have it used to be a Beam and Coke or Beam and Diet. At a point, I switched to just being like, all right, you know what, just give me a double whiskey. Just the rail. Like, it's mixed anyways. It definitely has a taste difference. I used to like the Beam and Coke or Beam and Diet when I was smoking cigars, just because that little sweetness kind of helped go with it. But at the point, it got to be like, you know what, if I'm going to be having a few of these tonight, I will go and save the $1.50, $2.
Sure.
I mean, it's rail. It's not like anyone's using pure rot gut. So, yeah, that. Or in the summertime, it's a double Tito's press with a lemon and a lime.
Okay.
Very nice.
How about you, Adam? What do you kind of go to? Or?
So like, I'm a big fan of like complex drinks. So like, a lot of tiki stuff is like really really good. And you can, if you're going out somewhere that
Like tiki,
yeah.
tiki hut?
Helmet on, or a helmet, umbrella on top.
Yep, like the whole shenanigans. But like when you start putting in like
Helmet on top.
you start putting in like orgeat and like allspice dram and the different kinds of rums and
Sure.
everything else like that. There's a lot of different like depth to a lot of those.
I should do
cocktails.
more rum drinks.
Yeah,
I really
they're-
should.
They're really, I really really enjoy a lot of the tiki stuff that way.
Yeah.
And a really good barometer is if they make a good Mai Tai. It's a pretty simple cocktail, but it's
Yep.
really easy to put stuff that never should belong in a Mai Tai into a Mai Tai.
Okay.
So, like, a lot of times you'll go out there and they'll have a Mai Tai mix, then any of their other cocktails aren't going to be
Yeah.
awesome. Or if they'll go there and then you see somebody put, like, orange juice in your Mai Tai, it's not going to be a good Mai Tai. Or if they don't have orgeat, but they're advertising, we have a great one, and they don't even see them put, like, amaretto or any other almond liqueur in there, then you're like, yeah, this isn't going to be where I need it to be. So I use that as my barometer for the rest of their cocktails. Usually.
Nice.
Otherwise, lately I've been doing Red Stag and Coke because it tastes exactly like a cherry Coke
Yep,
everywhere
it
you
does,
go,
yep.
and they're like $5, and it's super easy squeezing.
Yep.
What is Red Stag? Just a blended
It's
whiskey?
cherry beam.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like it's and like almost everywhere has it.
Sure.
And it's super easy and
Yep.
it's like a Jack and Coke, except when you want something that's not necessarily a Jack and Coke,
Yeah.
it'll mix up that way. But that's kind of been one of my pop twos. Summer, a lot of times I'll do like a benchmark lemonade with some seltzer in it, just to make a little bubbles, and those
Yep.
are refreshing and light and easy to
Sure.
drink. And
That's interesting. I love the fact that you mentioned that you use something as a barometer for something. Like
Yeah.
when I go to restaurants, I'll have like an appetizer with like calamari, and I'm like, if it's good calamari, I judge the restaurant based on that. Like I'm like, if they have the
Yep.
calamari, that's how it should taste. As far as my drink outside of beer or bourbon, and I'm not going to mention wine because I think that's another category on its own, which I will do. I will have more meals with wine than most any other drink, which is, I think, kind of interesting. What I mentioned, I don't want to squirm you out because it's going to be...
no, it's okay. You can say it. Does it have SoCo in it?
It does.
Oh my lord.
I call it a Southern apple, and what it is, it's just a Southern comfort with apple juice,
Oh.
and it's actually pretty delicious. It's like, I call it a Southern apple, and it's good.
Yeah. Have you tried it with like the Jim Beam apple?
No. What do you mean? Tried it with it? Like tried Southern comfort
No, your
with
Southern
it?
apple.
Yeah,
Instead of using SoCo, tried the Apple Beam.
and apple juice.
Yeah.
Okay, so double apple.
Yeah. Yeah. Instead of a double oak, it's a double apple.
It's a double apple. Becca would be proud.
She would be, but she'd be like, which apple?
Right?
Is it a Fuji?
I feel like I'm supposed to be out
thing.
drinking some fruitier drinks.
Yeah.
Oh, I like mine with an umbrella. Well, I like mine made with some apple in it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just going for the,
You're
Yeah.
Tito's.
Whiskeys and-
You're just Tito.
I'm whiskey and Coke or vodka and seltzer.
Yeah. Yeah.
So two, I liked two. I think it's kind of a mix between 1 and 3.
I get a little bit of a wheat smell early on that one. We get that sweet kind of finish on it, but it also has that little musty stuff that sometimes comes with the wheat, kind of like an old barn kind of
Yeah.
smell, which is not negative. It's just what it is. But I wish it had a longer finish. The finish is kind of short on that, and I really do feel like it's going to be another right around proof even.
Yeah.
Somewhere in that realm. So like that was the kind of the stuff I'm getting out of 2. I don't know if more proof would be good on this, honestly.
Right.
And usually I say it all the time, is proof's king, but like I don't know if this one would benefit.
I don't
from
know.
it.
I think I'm getting proof negative on 2 for some reason. I mean, with wheats, again, I get confused sometimes with the proofing, but... Yeah, we'll see. Anybody go over to 4 yet?
I did. I'm getting like that old oak smell from 4, like that sitting out, sitting out front of Cracker Barrel, waiting for your name to get called in the summer. You know that. Like, you know.
Can you be more specific?
Yeah, the one in Kenosha, right over there. Not
No,
when the wind's
no,
coming off the
you're
lake.
plenty specific.
Okay. But yeah, like because we went through it before, is like your smell and your memory really kick that, and that's kind of where that takes me into that one. I also get a little bit of that spice broom on 4.
Yeah, 4. I almost want to say like this is. I don't know if it would be double barreled or something because it almost seems like there was in a different barrel at some point of. I can't picture what.
Sure.
But there's enough flavor
Something?
on the tongue that like nope, this had something else.
To me, this one's the highest proof. That's, to me, it is. But I could be wrong, but I'm getting...
I think this one's definitely proof plus.
Yeah.
For sure. On number 4. It does have that wheat funk on the end of it a little bit.
Yep.
Again, not a negative, just what it is. And it does have a little bit longer finish, which leads it to being a little bit more proof.
Yep. And my gums are just still just kind of tingling.
Yep, I have the tingle on the lips.
Yeah. And it sticks around, and it's like just
Yeah.
kind of stays there, which...
Yeah, I wonder if the one that you said like the wheat, whatever, because like you smelled the musty on 2. I didn't smell that much, but this left a taste that's almost kind of a mildewy, musty kind of little hint there.
Yeah, this one would be
That's how you sell a bourbon.
Good on
or a
ice
whiskey.
or
Nice and musty. Good mildew sense. No.
Yes. Well, I mean, it was good enough.
Are you a marketer?
Was it Makers made their cellar aged, right?
Yeah.
And that
Yep.
one was supposed to be a little bit more mellow, toned down, rounder flavors
Right.
in that profile. So, dark, dank.
Dark
dingy
and dank.
basement, not the worst thing.
The words that sell. Yeah, this will be.
Yeah, 4 is very like a lot more. The more I go back and forth between them, that that musty kind of.
Yeah, and it seems like a word like musty would be a negative, but when you're
it's
talking,
not.
but when you're talking
It's a
bourbon,
descriptor.
it's not.
It's a descriptor.
I know. And I'm saying, I'm like, well, it has that, but I'm like, man, that really just came off negative. People
Right.
are watching like, oh, they think it's musty and milk. No, it
It works though.
Yeah.
It works.
Well,
I mean, when you think of something that's literally been sitting inside of wood for years and years and years,
It should be musty.
Yeah.
At least
you
a
would
little
think.
bit.
You would think. Yeah.
kept in a dark, dank
It's kind of
place.
not a very pleasant place to be sitting
Right.
for a long time.
Yeah.
But that's where it sits.
It's good stuff, though.
Yeah.
I like it.
They're having fun. They couldn't possibly have more fun than we are, though.
No.
I don't think so.
I did hear
We're
that
just trying to
mention.
refrain.
I did hear
We're trying to
mention them that they said we're going to have a side podcast.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Competition. I like it. That's why they're sabotaging us.
Man,
It's a tougher choice.
Yeah,
It's
I am
definitely
really-
a tougher choice.
I'm getting more like sweet too out of 4. The longer it kind of sits and the more I go back and forth.
That's the thing. It sits there for so long that it's like you don't have to rush back to it. It's like sitting there going, "Hey,
See,
don't
like-
worry. Don't worry, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm here for you.
Yeah.
I'm here. Just relax."
So like that number 2, I get that. This is kind of me with one of my weird smell things, flavor wise. But like, remember like at the Milwaukee Public Museum, they had like Old World Wisconsin back there.
Yeah.
And that kind of vibe, that smell.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I get from 2.
I must say, 4 is definitely higher proof.
Only if it goes down the wrong hole or what?
No, I just left it on my lips and then
Oh,
I
sure.
just like went and breathed it all in. It all just aerosolized, and I'm like, whoa,
Yeah. No.
that hit.
No, I'm right there thinking 4 is higher proof.
Try the where you get a little bit on your hand and warm it up on 2. And
Okay.
I've
Never done this. How do you do it? Teach me how to do this.
So usually what I do is I try to get just a little bit on my
So we're
hand.
putting our finger in our drink
Yeah, or just whatever. And then
because
you get it
anybody listening to this has no idea what we're doing.
Right, then you put some then you touch your palm of your hand, and then you warm it up to evaporate
So you're
any
like
of the ethanols.
you're wiping it.
Yep.
Okay, so you're evaporating the ethanol.
Yep, and
then
then
what
when
do
you
you
go to
do?
smell it off your hand, you get more of those grainy notes. It helps you find mash when you do it with the white dog.
I smell the soap I just last used.
Well, you shouldn't be using lilac soap.
I don't know if it's lilac though, but
now-
I'm smelling soap.
So do the same thing, but with number 4, and you'll notice a difference. And number 2 has got a lot.
Do you have to like clean off your hand again or?
Yeah, generally you would, but usually once you rub it down, it'll evaporate itself.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm trying this again.
I do this often, especially at home with new stuff, and I'm trying to figure out.
This is a bready.
Yeah,
This is more bread.
I was gonna say, I didn't
that's
know
what I'm saying. Like,
This one,
And that's a yeast thing then, right? So that's definitely more bread. But
Yeah.
I didn't get that breading on 2 though.
no, I didn't either.
What did
Right.
you say you got on 2?
2. So let me do it one more time. So 2 coming through. So just where your hands start feeling a little warm,
Sure.
I'm almost getting like a peanut butter off of 2, and that's what made me think about it right away.
Hmm.
And I didn't get it flavor wise, but once I get it off my hand, I get that a lot from Wild Turkey as well when I do it. So it's that kind of.
You do mention that you like the peanuts on, or you don't like it, but you do notice that
Yeah,
there's more peanut notes on
Not that
wild
I
turkey.
don't- Not that I don't dislike.
Because I like the peanut
Yeah.
notes
Right.
on wild turkey.
I didn't get the peanuts, but I definitely got more of like a wheat. Like literally thinking of like, all right, almost not quite hay, but like almost that kind of smell more than I got the bread
Yes.
in
Sure.
4.
Kind of
Yeah.
like at the end of Gladiator when he's walking through the field of wheat.
Yep,
You're
exactly
there.
like that.
You're
Yeah,
there.
if I were to go and chop that, grab some, have it in my hand, that's what I would smell. Now, that is to say, I have no idea how either of those smells make me feel. And how I like
Right. Now that we identified
No, I
it,
don't, but
I don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah, it makes you feel musty.
Right.
I don't know which one's the positive, which one's the negative.
Well, let's make a decision here. We're wiping hands. We're
Yeah,
tasting
it's
these.
something I do all the time with different spirits. Gin is another one that's great for, and same thing with the rums. It
Yeah.
really just pulls different way to experience it. Should I go first?
I definitely have one picked. Everybody have one picked already? Or
not.
are we still waiting?
Yeah, and I already know from you guys I'm going to be the contrarian, I think, on this.
So you go.
Go ahead.
I'm going to... I mean, you come in here saying proof is king. I mean, I'm going to say I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 was really good.
Yeah.
With these weeded, I think I'll jump across the board again and talk about 1 and 3 only because I think 1 was just... It didn't provide as much as these other 3 bottles did. I thought 2 was good. I'm definitely going to go with 4, though, because I think proof is king. I think that's a higher proof, and it stays, and it's pleasant, and I like it.
I'm going to go with 2. This is the higher proof, but also, I mean, again, this is kind of coming down to a bit of personal preference. On this one, as we discussed before, there are some higher proof things. I'm like, this is really good and really smooth. This one just had enough. I'm like, when I went and just took the last little bit, just hitting the lips of 2 and then going to 4, I would go back to 2, I think, more often. Again, depending on what I've been doing in the night or what I'm feeling like. But in the moment I'm feeling right now, I would go with 2.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I am going to go with number 4. I think it's got a longer finish on it. I think it's a little bit more interesting. So I'm going to do that I'm just going to pick 4. I think that's what I like right now.
Yeah. All right, here's to 4. I am so anxious to see what these are. So 3 and 4 is going to advance. We're going to bring 1 and 2 out, and we're going to talk about them. So I went to get these bottles, and you guys were here kind of still experimenting about how to smell it on your hands and stuff. And you guys were saying that 1 has some sourdough notes to it.
It's like it's a different bread for sure than number 4 we were getting.
Okay.
Yeah, like I would agree with you. It's like a sourdough kind of sour mash starter.
Oh, that's interesting. I want to see what this is then. Let's find out what 1 is. 1 is actually the Woodford Reserve weeded. So let me move this.
It's really exciting too because actually that one you can find everywhere now.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
They have now a rye. They have a weeded. They have a malted, which I heard is not very good. But I like to taste things myself instead of just taking the general prospectus of it.
What's the proof on that, Chris?
So the proof
47.5.
96.
Oh, sorry, 45.2. Apparently, I can't read numbers sideways in life. So 90. So you guys were right.
Numbers are subjective.
That one hit me. That one, when I first went at it, I'm like, oh, that seemed like more. But like, you're right. So that was definitely not.
Yeah.
It's interesting that we're getting those sourdough kind of noties out of number 1.
Yeah. I mean, Woodford Reserve is a solid brand, and they're trying to get into different avenues of flavors and stuff. And I mean, we know that like Angel's Envy is a king of like finishing in like port or rum. Woodford Reserve,
their double oaked is like so standard and consistent and
it's awesome.
And technically, we found out it's a toasted.
Right. Like maybe some branches just stick to what they kind of know. Yeah. Maybe.
I know they do a double oaked for a spring release, which is like really cool. And I tried to time that one out a couple times. It's impossible, but that seems to be their thing is like oak finishes and different stuff that way. I haven't seen any kind of like sherry, port, rum cast finish, Woodford products. I know they're big into their different bottles. There's a Baccarat bottle, which is a fancy crystal bottle, and then they have their Kentucky Derby painted ones. They do ones for Christmas. They change that stuff around.
Right.
But they're just standard. Woodford is a solid, consistent product, and they're trying to branch out, and I understand why.
I understand that too.
For it.
Exactly.
And it's not like one of those like stay in your lanes, but like it's like, dude, like you do really well this. It takes small variations off of that.
And I mean, Chris, you picked it. You enjoyed this.
I did.
Over 3.
Yep.
And I mean, Woodford Reserve, like I said, they make a great product, and it's like if they just they changed their mash bill a little bit, I can understand it still being really good.
Yeah.
But I guess comparing it to other wheats, it just didn't.
No, and I mean, yeah. Again, I'd be totally fine with the other ones. I mean, and I would say now, if I had bought this and saw that it was only 45%, so a 90 proof, and the amount that I got of burn on it, I'd be like, that would right there almost bias me. Like, no, this is not. When I bought this, I was expecting something a bit more like that, and this came off to me and my taste more.
Right.
But in a blind taste, no, then it was compared to the other. But yeah, that's...
Is some of that, you think, age?
I don't know. I don't know what the aging is on this.
there's no age
there's no age
I was gonna say
statement.
nothing on here, yeah.
But you were saying you were getting more of a proof level.
I did. This the way the burn and the way it went down, the initial. But like you said, this didn't leave a lot after. So I was
Right.
like, all right. I'm like, nope, I could be totally wrong because that's probably more of a truer.
And I think the price point kind of
Judge.
reflects that because those are in the 30s.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're very, very affordable.
Yeah.
So it's definitely not going to be something that was aged for extra long. It's
No.
going to be at your probably 4-year.
Yeah, because it is a new product as well. A lot of times when it's a new line of something,
Right.
it's younger.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. And so we'll move over to what bottle 2 was.
Number 2.
And we thought that was pretty good. Now, this is a 7-year wheated. Actually, it's a straight wheat whiskey. So it's over 51% wheat. So to be a straight anything, whether it's straight rye, straight bourbon, straight wheat, it's got to be over 51%
Gotcha.
of whatever that says it is. And this is a 7-year age statement, too.
What's the
So
proof?
that's sitting there for 7 years. And the proof is 45% alcohol, so it's 90 proof.
Again.
Yeah, so we got two 90
Yep.
proofers. If I were to compare this against the Woodford, I think this one's a little more flavorful.
Yep.
Yeah.
I would take 2 over 1.
Yeah, but again, it's 7 years.
Right. So is that a 4-year? And that's a
I would
7-year?
assume, yeah. Now, it's true with straight bourbons that if there's no age statement on the label, it's got to be 4 years. This is a wheated, so it's not. Well,
It's a weed whiskey.
straight wheat whiskey, so this got to be over 51% wheat. So
Correct.
this does not have to hold to the same standards of a bourbon, where this could actually be aged less than 4 years and still not have it on their label. So this could be younger
So
as
that's
well.
not just a tweak to their normal recipe. That's a new recipe.
That is a new recipe. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's a straight
Wondering
wheat.
color to for how aged it is.
I want to. Can you see anything on there as far as what the mash bill is? Because that's a straight wheat whiskey. So is that.
Doesn't.
It'd be interesting to know what the percentage of wheat they have in
I mean,
there.
this is one that's not recommended for women during pregnancy. So that's I don't know what that says.
one of
about
the
them.
rare ones.
Yeah. This is from one of the. So Bernheim Distillery is in Bardstown, but it's not Bardstown, but it's in Bardstown.
No, I actually got that from the Heaven Hill Distillery. So I think they are owned by Heaven Hill,
That makes sense.
Yep. and it's really affordable. That's also like a $30 bottle.
Yeah.
And I enjoy it a lot. I
I think it's cool that these are. It may not be cool, but since these are both actually just wheat whiskeys, I wonder if the other two are wheat bourbons.
That's a great observation, potential observation. Since I live here and I don't have to drive anywhere, I'm going to finish these.
Well, I'm gonna make my infinity glass and have a wheat cup at the end.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, I do like Bernheim. I've finished a couple of these bottles. They are good.
Do they make other stuff?
I have not seen anything other than this bottle made by Bernheim.
They do one thing.
They do one thing and one thing well.
Yeah. Okay, so championship round. For
That's
the day.
right. Yeah, it's
3
going to
versus
basically
4.
be. I mean, from our notes before, it's going to be a high minty option compared to a high.
And these are actually
high
both,
proof.
These are both proof plus. We thought in the original.
We thought so, yeah.
Yeah.
I think we got a little bit more off of the 4.
Yeah, I thought 3 was closer. I thought 3 had less to it than 1, and we saw how that turned out. So I'm thinking that this may be a.
He's like 40 proof, like
This
20% alcohol by volume.
is this McGillicuddy's?
Yeah.
That sounds like a dad joke. It's not? Okay.
It's the weeded.
Well, we got a
Soka.
book that says dad jokes, so I'm gonna jump to one.
It's a weeded Soka.
Here's my. Yeah. We did so. You're onto something. It's a Southern Soko apple.
Yeah, southern
Weeded apple.
Southern weeded apple.
Yes. Whiskey.
Whiskey.
Wow.
Wheat whiskey.
Wow. All right, so this is my dad joke. The quarter refused to jump off the train with the nickel. It had more sense.
Nice.
That's a dad joke
Yeah.
right there. Would daddy dog
Daddy?
daddy?
God, these two are so.
That just sounds horrible.
I know.
And I now hate you for saying that, Todd.
That's what I'm here for.
All right.
That's That's what I hear for Chris. Oh, he liked one. He actually proofread it.
Did you hear about the guy who ate 4 cans of alphabet soup? He had a very large vowel movement.
That's actually pretty good.
Oh my.
That's the best one so far. That's pretty awesome. 4 cans of alphabets.
Okay. Not as good.
Oh, it's okay.
Why does the Norway Navy place barcodes on all of its ships?
I don't know why. Why
Is it
does the
can of
Norway
fjord labels?
So they can Scandinavian.
Scandinavia? I think you can tell how much we drink by our reaction to the
To
jokes.
bad jokes.
Right. Scandinavia. That's witty.
Wow, these are very, very, very different.
They're very different.
They are.
Yeah.
I had one, and I'm not getting it again. I went back to 3 at one point, and now my nose is like, hey, we're shutting down and closing up. Mm-hmm. But I got a whiff of, I don't know if it was fruity or floral at one point, and I'm like, oh, I really like that. But now I don't get it again, so I can't remember what it was.
Number 3, I'm still getting that honey wheat, like like that
Yeah.
fresh baked honey wheat bread. It's like that all day.
I'm not getting the mint anymore on it, and that's all I could taste before. That was the only reason I took one over it.
And then number 4, I'm still getting that the little funk, the little spice broom, the little other stuff in there.
Oh, now I got the mint. Now it's like a honey mint. Now
I'm
Are you
getting
just
a little.
trying to drink it until you don't like it? Is that what you're doing?
No, I just went back. I'm like, how did I not notice the mint? Because I think I forgot about it. The first time, it just punched me in the face so much. That was all I could think about. And now I'm kind of going back and forth just trying to decide. And I forgot about the mint until I looked down and saw, and you said mint. I'm like, oh, yeah, mint. And then it hit me.
I have a comment about it, but I don't want to say it because I
Why?
know it's going to sway, and I don't want to sway
Why?
anybody.
We need your unbiased opinion.
True. To me, 3 tastes medicinal. Like it's a thing. Like you have like whiskeys. Like to survive Prohibition,
Yeah, it'd be medicine.
whiskey had to describe themselves as a medicine.
Yeah.
And this one to me comes across as medicinal. And yeah, I mean, there are medicines that we think is tasty. I mean, you have like grape cough syrup. Sometimes it's like okay.
I just get like green and red flavored NyQuil, and I
Right.
just try to make it go away.
I know. Maybe there isn't a good taste, and that's why I didn't want to really kind of say it, but that's what I'm getting.
No, I agree. And now I'm going, because, man, from how much that mint affected me the first time through, but now going back and forth, that slight mustiness that's just staying there on 4, I'm like, you know what? I don't mind it to other things, but comparing the 2, I like the remaining aftertaste back flavor of the 3.
That's amazing how different things can get without being a finished product.
Right. Yeah.
And it's weird because there's the instant after it, the 3 first get, there's the initial taste, and then before the final aftertaste, there was a second or 2 of a different taste. And for that second or 2, I'm like, I don't know if I like that, but then it's instantly gone. I'm like, oh, okay.
So it's not a smooth transition through your flavor experience.
Yeah.
There's a break in the middle.
I'll go with 3.
What do you got, Todd?
I'm jumping over to 4 myself. Again, I'm huge into like proof, and to me, musky or not musky, but musk kind of notes. You're right. It's sitting in the barrel for a long time, and it's getting these like the wood is providing notes of just earthy flavors, and a must. Is it must or musk?
It'd be a must. A musk is like,
More of off of an animal.
yeah.
Yeah.
So unless this oak tree was hollow and
There's
an
a
animal
raccoon
lived
living in it?
inside of it,
It'd be musty.
then it could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And either way it is, I'm enjoying that type of flavor
Yeah.
over something that to me almost feels like they added an additive to it to add like a squirt of mint just to make it taste better.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Which bourbon you can't do that to, but I don't know about the rules of any other kind of whiskey where maybe they could add additives to it, and we're just like falling for it, going,
Yeah.
"Oh, now I like it because
Yep.
it has this extra flavoring."
Well, now
I'm not a fan of that. So
Now I'm going to feel bad about my choice. Thanks, Todd.
I'm actually going to go with number 3. I think it's a little bit more complex.
you
flavor
shouldn't feel bad
profile.
because now it's going to win.
It's got a little bit more of a flavor bomb kind of feel to it. I'm just kind of liking it. Going
Amber
through
on,
all
huh?
those spirits. Yeah. Hold on, let me throw some in there. No, but it doesn't taste like it's been wood additive on it because I've been drinking a lot of big flavor bomb stuff, and when it comes to like something that's a flavor bomb, I think you're getting a lot more of an experience out of 3 than you are getting out of 4. And that's not saying number 4 is not good. It's
Right.
just saying that, like, I think, in my opinion, that honey wheat bread is cutting way above that mint note. I'm not pulling as much as you guys are on that.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm definitely going to go with number 3.
Perfect. Let's bring these out and we'll talk about them. All right, so we're back and we're going to show what
Number
the
4.
runner-up was, which was 4, and that is the high-proof, cast-strength, wheated Castle and Key. And you actually have a sweatshirt on that matches this label. Nice sweatshirt. I like it.
So it is bourbon.
It's a 7-year.
It's a... Does it say the year?
Yeah, right in the back.
Oh, it does. Sorry. So, yeah, aged 7 years. The proof is 105.8 proof.
So it is Proof Plus.
So it is proof
Just.
plus. Just though, I thought it'd be higher than that, just by how my gums were kind of reacting
But
to
that
it.
is that is an indicative thing from Castle and Key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I do agree. I'm a big fan of this. This is my second bottle of it. I drank the first bottle I got
Pretty quick.
fairly quickly, and I was like, "You guys, we got to do a weeded episode because this is delicious." And that was something I picked. I really do enjoy it. However, there was another one that ended up edging that out to take this episode's win, and that was bottle number 3. And I'm guessing, since it's the only one left, it's got to be a Bottle and Bond, and that's the Oregon Spirits Weeded Bottle and Bond, which we all know Bottle and Bond is 100 proof. It's also a single barrel, so that's like not only a Bottle and Bond, but it's a single
Gotcha.
barrel as well.
So, I mean, this one, too, is starting to be everywhere, which
Yes.
is cool, but I haven't seen that one.
No, that one was kind of, when I saw it, I was like, ooh, like the very first Bottle and Bond episode we had,
Yeah.
the Oregon Spirits Bottle and Bond ended up winning the episode.
Okay.
Like, it was delicious. We all had a
So
fantastic
you're
experience.
saying that they know what they're doing.
right. So when I saw it, I'm like, I got to get it because they did a fantastic job with their Bottle and Bond. I did see on the side when it was turned, it's still a 5-year age statement. So
Yeah.
you're going 5 years to 7 years. Again, you're looking at the proof level making a difference. You're looking at the Oregon Spirits. I'm assuming it's Oregon State
Yeah.
where it's
Can I see
aged.
the bottle?
Yeah.
I'm just not sure. Is it a MGP distillate? No, distilled and bottled in Oregon Spirits Distillers in Bend, Oregon.
Yeah.
Where
so
did you guys have this on proof level? Because I wrote it down as proof neutral.
Which is, you're right on. I was a little proof plus because I think the other ones were proof negative.
I mean, I was
Yeah,
way
the
off.
other two were proof
Yeah,
negative,
otherwise
so
I
it was
was
a
way
little-
off on one. And
yeah, it was
this
90, 90, 104, or 105, and then 100.
Yeah.
So we had 2 that were even or a little above, and then 2 that were negative.
Mount Jefferson, Bend, Oregon.
And I definitely got that 4 was higher proof,
Yeah.
but it was only up by 5.
Yeah.
I wonder how big their small batches are.
That's a good point. There's a big controversy now about what makes a small batch because there's a lot of truth in advertising, and there's like people are saying small batches are like 200 barrels, and it's like it should.
Yeah.
I think it should be under 100 barrels.
Yeah.
This
Like
is where it gets down to the reason why there is bottled in bond.
Correct.
That's true.
That's exactly why, because
Yeah.
every company was in the world just to go and do for marketing.
Yep.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah, because like say a company like Waterford Stillhouse, right? Super teeny tiny, right? Their small batch is
Is
5
the entire
gallons.
place.
Yeah, their small batch is 5 gallons,
Yeah.
right? Maybe 15.
Yep.
And like you go to Jim Beam, their small batch is 1,500 barrels.
Yep.
You know.
I'm just going back and I'm like retasting my number 4 and my number 3 just to
So
check
the
it
other
out.
thing, just to for Todd's note on the mint being bottled in bond, it says bottled in bond whiskey, but bottled in bond is only a bourbon.
Bottled in Bond is, but
No.
they follow
No.
the bonding rules.
Oh,
You can have bonded.
okay.
You can have bonded different stuff that's not a whiskey product. You have bonded brandy.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bottle and bond
Makes
is
a bottle.
Okay, I
it's
thought that it was strictly
a bourbon process.
Yeah.
Nope, not anymore. Now
So
it's
are they allowed to add
No.
a
No.
spritz of mint flavoring?
No,
Is there
that's actually you're tasting the mountains up in Bend. That's the Rockies you're pulling out of there.
some guy when he poured it in actually dropped his mint floss in there,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that just
Yeah.
eventually.
His skull fell into the.
It is single barrel, so that one barrel could have had the mint floss or
Yeah.
skull. Every other barrel.
Yeah, it was a mint plant that became a
Yeah.
a mint tree
Or
and
when they-
became
Exactly. There was a mint plant. The tree grew around it and just absorbed it.
The wheat field had some mint in it when they harvested, just a little bit, but
I'm gonna get some
Exactly,
mint
yeah.
oak floors.
nice.
Have a nice fresh smell in the house all the
Yeah,
time.
constantly lick your floors.
We're out of toothpaste. Quick, lick
Yeah.
the floor.
yeah. Companies
Baby,
coming-
mop the floor. No. I'm licking it.
I'm licking it.
All right, we're definitely tasting the alcohol out of these things, which is the point. You're supposed to enjoy yourselves while you're tasting these things. This was kind of a neat experiment. We'd never had a weeded episode before, and we kind of came up and
Yeah.
tested these out. I like all of them, honestly. Like, I wouldn't push one away and say, no, I'm not tasting this, or
Yeah.
I don't want it. So I was fine with you guys picking that one, and that's going to move on and see how it can do against other episode and weekly winners.
Right.
And let's see if we can identify the mint out of our...
That's what I was gonna say. I'm like,
Oregon spirits.
that's the mystery. For all the viewers out there, if you can identify where mint flavor comes from in bourbon, you too can be a guest on Todd's podcast.
I love how you change your voice just to
Yeah.
try to be sultry and exciting.
You have to have big. It's big voice guy.
Is it big voice guy?
for commercials and
Very, very nice.
Can you put my big voice guy on? Nice catch. And then just my effects on mic 1. All right, so now we're going to talk about big voice guy.
That is not big voice guy. That's creepy voice guy.
Well, either way, creepy voice guy is asking you to make sure you like and subscribe and watch our next episode. So, thank you.
We know where you live.